In any competitive sport, championships are the ultimate goal for every team and franchise associated with that sport. From gold medals, to the Commissioner's Trophy, to the Vince Lombardi Trophy, and of course, the Larry O'Brien title. All being the culmination of hard work, perseverance, and even a little luck. Within the NBA, 20 franchises have been able to raise a banner to reflect them bringing home the ultimate prize. Although it seemed to be swept under the rug, in my opinion, the Denver Nuggets last year made history, bringing that team its very first championship in team history. Now we're down to 10 teams that are planning, plotting, scheming, and dealing to one day hoist that Larry O'Brien into the air and bring their franchise what has been missing since creation. As you can see, those 10 teams still grasping for that elusive trophy are the Phoenix Suns, Memphis Grizzlies, Minnesota Timberwolves, Brooklyn Nets, Indiana Pacers, Charlotte Hornets, New Orleans Pelicans, Utah Jazz, Orlando Magic, and Los Angeles Clippers. Looking through this list, there's some that probably surprise, while others you can pretty much guarantee will remain on this list for the next decade. So today, I'm going to examine 3 of those 10 that will likely get at least one parade in the next few years. But before I hop into that, please like and subscribe to the channel. On the road to 1,000 subs and can't do it without you guys. Also, if you enjoy podcasts, and we all do, check out myself and Big Nige on the GoatCast podcast every Monday and Wednesday on my other YouTube channel. The link is in the description. Okay, so now which teams will bring home a title for their franchise? The Phoenix Suns. The Phoenix Suns right now are sitting 0-3 in the NBA Finals, reaching the big stage in 1976, 1993, and 2021. While many of us remember the epic clash between Charles Barkley and Michael Jordan's Bulls in the 93 finals, we also recall when Giannis went nuclear on CP3 and Devin Booker to bring home his first ring. Since 2021, the team has seemingly been in full win-now mode, dismissing the services of then head coach Monty Williams, bringing in Kevin Durant to coincide with Chris Paul and Devin Booker, realizing that CP3 might be a little too long in the tooth, and ending that relationship, as well as cutting ties with DeAndre Ayton for offensive threat Bradley Beal. And now you have a team that on paper looks like a contender, but only time will tell. The one thing I would say about Phoenix as an organization is they have a competent staff. Through the years, they have actually constructed some really solid teams. From the Mike D'Antoni 7 seconds or less Suns that somewhat ushered in the small ball mentality that has taken over the current NBA, to even that 2021 squad that had a tried and true lineup of a traditional point guard, a shooting guard that could light up the scoreboard, and an offense-minded big man. Even the Kevin Johnson, Charles Barkley Suns in the 90s had a smartly constructed group of players that could have gotten the job done had it not been for that Bulls team. With all that said, their window was small, and if they could not get the job done in the next year or two, they will likely plummet back to mediocrity in the Western Conference. And we may have to wait until the distant 2030s for a Phoenix Suns team to finally grab a ring. Now, moving from a competent staff to sheer incompetence, I want to exclude this team, but out of the others on the list, they still have a slim chance of raising a banner, and that team is the Los Angeles Clippers. As dumb as the James Harden trade sounded, and has been so far, there's still a part of me that says maybe this could work. If we judge an entire team on their first 5 or 6 games together, well, the 91-92 Bulls started 2-2, and we saw how that ended. The Clippers, especially in the 80s and 90s, were a laughingstock in the NBA. Not really a destination the best of the best clamored to go. Lately, they have become a fairly competitive team, from Lob City to the current Kawhi Clippers. They've become less laughingstock and more serious contender, but have yet to cross that bridge, even with really good rosters for the past decade. They have sniffed the conference finals one time in their franchise history, and that came in 2021 against the aforementioned Phoenix Suns. So they are inching closer and closer, and now with 4 aging stars that may not fit each other's playing style, they have to figure it out and fast. The Clippers, like the Suns, have a very small window left with their current roster, as these guys are getting old. I'm sure Steve Ballmer's patience is wearing thin, and other teams throughout the NBA are getting younger and better. If this collective can find the cohesion necessary to compete in the West this year, I could see them possibly coming back together for one more and adding a few pieces to the bench. They could realistically take home a Larry O'Brien in the next 2 seasons and finally fall out of the shadow of Big Brother Purple and Gold in Crypto Arena. The third team even shocks me saying their name, but are legit a threat to finally win a big one, and that's the Minnesota Timberwolves. The Wolves have been a part of the NBA since 1989. Since then, they, like Phoenix, have put together some really solid rosters throughout those years, just never been able to make it out of the always tough Western Conference. Many of us remember the days of Stephon Marbury and Kevin Garnett on the T-Wolves, but they have only risen to the conference finals once in their existence, And that was off the backs of Garnett, Sam Cassell, and Latrell Sprewell. Fast forward to now, they have a solid group of players that, with the right amount of luck and maturity, could definitely put Minnesota on the map and cross their name off the list of ringless franchises. Anthony Edwards is a special player. I've sung his praises in videos before, and I absolutely believe that he will add at least one ring to his trophy case before he exits the league. My only concern is his supporting cast. Karl-Anthony Towns is a solid big man. Absolutely skilled offensively, he leaves a lot to be desired on the defensive end. That's where the acquisition of Rudy Gobert was supposed to help and shadow KAT's weaknesses. And in many ways, it has, but there seems to be a lack of maturity and consistency with this team that I'm not sure Coach Chris Finch can pull out of them. However, with Edwards' rise in confidence and becoming more and more unstoppable, a solid, tested run could get this team that is 20 years removed from their last conference finals into the upper bracket and possibly into the elusive NBA Finals, finally bringing home a chip. So those are 3 teams that I believe will bring their franchise a championship sooner than later. The rest, well, I could see the Pacers, Nets, or Pelicans possibly putting something special together at some point, especially with the stars they have now. Unfortunately, the Hornets and Wizards, all I can say is good luck, and maybe in my lifetime, I'll see one of the two get it together. But what do you all think? Are these teams that you think can bring home a ring? Or are there others from the list of 10 you think can get the job done? Also, if you want to ascend to GOAT status like number 23, please like and subscribe to the channel. We always appreciate your feedback and support. Also, check out the podcast page at the link below. I know you get tired of hearing me, so check myself and Big Nige out over there with more NBA content. Thank you guys, and be back soon.